ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरास्मगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। From 3 onwards. Okay, number 3. न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते
न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते
नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा
नान्तो न चादिर्न न सम्प्रदिष्टा
अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम्
अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम्
असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन छित्त्वा
अचङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा
ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम्
ततः पथं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम्
यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः
यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः
तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये
तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये
यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता पुराणी
यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता पुराणे
निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषाः
निर्माणमोहाजिदशङ्गदोषाः
अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः
अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः
द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञैः
द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता सुखदुःखसङ्गैः
गच्छन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययं तत्
गच्छन्त्यमूढा पदमव्ययं तत्
न तद्भासयते सूर्यः
न तद्भासयते सूर्यः
न शशाङ्को न पावकः
न शशाङ्को न पावकः
यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते
यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते
तद्धाम परमं मम।
तद्धाम परमं मम
ममैवांशो जीवलोके
ममैवांशो जीवलोके
जीवभूतः सनातनः
जीवभूत सनातनः
मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि
मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि
प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति
प्रकृस्तानि कर्षति
शरीरं यदवाप्नोति
शरीरं यदवाप्नोति
यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः
यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः
गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति
गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति
वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्
वायुर्गन्धनिवाशयात्
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च
रसनं घ्राणमेव च
रसनं घ्राणमेव च
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायम्
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
विषयानुपसेवते.
विषयानुपसेवते
Once again, श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च
रसनं घ्राणमेव च
रसनं घ्राणमेव च
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायम्
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायम्
विषयानुपसेवते.
विषयानुपसेवते
So, as we saw in this chapter, 15th chapter, Sri Bhagavan starts with a description of the samsara vriksha. What is life? Human life. That is described. Described means shown as a tree, samsara vriksha. So that is where people talk about samsara vriksha. I used to wonder how come samsara is related to a tree. What is the connection? We may not be able to see the connection, but the connection is there here. And so he's talking about there is a moolam. This life has a moolam, has a root, has a basis, has a sustaining entity. That sustaining entity is urdhva moolam. Like that, he starts this chapter, and he describes that. And then the sixth onwards, natad bhasayate. There he describes, he he tells us what Brahma is, that urdhva moolam kim tat iti tatra, the sixth shloka. He says that. He says that which is not objectifiable. There is no way. It is like saying even the Nobel Prize winning scientist cannot figure it. The way to look at it, if the sun there, the sun cannot shine means what? No brain also can figure it out. Try to analyze it. Won't work. That's the meaning I'm getting from this statement. Because the observer is the one you have to look at. How is the observer going to look at the observer? Won't work, right? So that is what I'm getting from that. All right. So mamai vamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta. So next few shlokas, 7, 8, Shariram Yadavapnotim, talking about the same Jiva, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So, this Brahma, the Brahma alone, is present, is manifest in the form of all living beings. That is being talked about. Okay, it's going to go on for some time. Yatantaha, yeah, until 11 it will go. This Brahma being manifest as Jiva is going to go till 11. All right, so we saw that 8th shloka, Shariram Yadavapnoti. the process of when the life departs, what happens? That analogy also is given in the 8th shloka. Wind, flower, fragrance example. So we now chanted this shloka number 9. Shrotram chakshu sparshanam cha. And earlier he also gave that four, four payaha. Four means to, to get, gain moksha. First one is what? Asanga Shastram, Vairagyam. Second is Prapatti, Prapatti, Sharanagati. Is why that was important. Sharanagati is so important. So very ironic. Sharanagati, you surrender to Bhagavan. And without that surrender, it is not going to work out. This jnana will not happen because the chakshu has to turn inward, and it will not turn inward if I keep my ahankara on top. Yeah, ahankara is a big barrier. That guy, ahankara will not allow itself to be decimated. The death of ahankara is something that I will protect by all means. I means any human being. And so ahankara will not allow that to happen. And so that's ironic. That's why surrender is so important. Surrender means you let go. Let go towards that which we can trust completely, which is Bhagavan. The only entity we can trust 100% is Bhagavan. And the more I understand life, the more trust I will have. When I see that the world, there is nothing chaotic in this world. There is no injustice in this world. Everything is happening exactly as it should happen. When I see that, and when I recognize that as Bhagavan, then Prapatti will be automatic. I may not like what's happening. I may hate what's happening, or I may be afraid of what's happening. But that is that is how things are. Okay. So therefore, we saw what Vairagyam, Prapatti, then Brahma Vicharaha and Sadguna. Correct? These are the four things we talk. And which is we can understand all those things. And Mokshaha, Tadhama Paramam Mama. Right? Yad Gatva na Nivartante. Having gone there, they don't return back. So many ways of interpreting. Gone there means gone to a place where Vishnu is. That is one way they interpret. Or merging with God. The jiva merges with God. In fact, the word yoga means connection. So merges with God. How do you merge with God? Do I go into the Bhagavan's heart? Do I go into Bhagavan's intestines? What will happen? Like I have bacteria in my stomach also. All our intestines, they say good bacteria is important. So I may be the good bacteria of God. What will happen? Hey, this merging and all is just a translation. Merging implies two entities. When the entities are not two, where is the question of merging? It's already merged, if at all we want to think about it. And so, giving up this notion of separation. Previously, I thought, what did Tattvabodhakara say? Prakritya swasmat Ishwaram bhinnatvena janati, right? Tattvabodha. Prakritya, by nature, everything is different from me, and of course, God is different from me. Okay, that's how it's presented. And so, that notion has to be given up. That's all happens. Nothing else will change. And just that idea, the wrong idea is given up, replaced by right knowledge. Right knowledge. I don't have to say right knowledge. Knowledge itself is enough, but sometimes we have to use that word, right knowledge. All right. And then that was talked about. All right. So now the Sarvatmakatvam of Brahma, namely Brahma being the essence of everything in this universe, is being talked about, separated into two. One is take all living beings, take yourself, take living entities, sentient entities first, And then we'll talk about non-insentient later. That's how Bhagavan Sri Krishna is divided. So he's talking about Jiva. All right. So, Shrotram, Chakshuhu, Sparshanam cha, Rasanam, Granam eva cha. So I think you can make out all these words are familiar to us. So, Mamayavamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta. So I am present as the Jiva. My part, he says, my Amsha, Shankaracharya clarifies, it's not some part or something. If you take Bhagavan as some formed being, then you can say part, etc. One part of this laddu you will get. When we were kids, we used to fight about all these things. Who gets the bigger part? Why is he getting? So we used to argue all this. Like that, we can't argue here because that is not that logic cannot be used here. Okay, and so all right. So Shrotram, what happens? What is the jiva? Once Bhagavan is present as the jiva, then what happens? Shrotram, Chakshuhu, sense of hearing, sight, sparshanam, touch, rasanam, taste, granam, smell, that sense of smell, etc. Those Bhagavan is manifest in those forms. Okay. And then manahacha, manahacha, mind also. Senses without mind will not, it's of no use. Well, manahacha, I am, I am. I am means what? This. I am jivaha within brackets. I am jivaha. What does that person do? Adhishtaya. Okay. Shrotram adhishtaya, chakshuhu adhishtaya, manaha cha adhishtaya. Adhishtaya means what? Now that jiva has everything needed to lead a life. Everything needed to start ticking. So adhishtaya, resorting to these instruments that have been given to the jiva. That is the magic. That human being magic is that magic. You need the mind and all the operating instruments are all given to lead a life. You think you need the mind and to operate, interact, transact with the world and to assess the world, you need sense organs. That's all that's needed. Mind means everything, buddhi and all included. Memory, recollection, chittam, everything included. Manaha. So I am jiva, resorting to adhishtaya, adhishtanam kritva. That is why in sleep, no transaction. Why? Because sense organs are just go to sleep. Mind also goes to sleep. And then what happens? What does he do? The jiva do. Vishayan upasevate. Vishayan upasevate. Vishayan. Vishayan. Beautiful word. One word is enough to describe what is not Atma. Correct? Vishaya. Vishaya. There are only two. Dvauhi padartho. Dvauhi padartho. There are only two things in this world. Atma and Anatma. Atma and Anatma. That's all. Two things are there. Actually, Anatma also is Atma. But for now, starting point, Atma is Atma. I mean, Atma and Anatma. So that Anatma is called Vishaya. Vishinoti Badnati. That is a catch. Vishaya. This Sanskrit word is so good. It is just amazing how this language has come out. I don't know how it can come. That is why I think it's called Deva Bhasha. It binds, therefore it's called Vishaya. Vishinoti. That which binds is called a Vishaya. That's it over. And that covers the entire universe. And so Vishayan Upasevate. Upasevate. Krishna is playing a game. Nice. Seva. We all do seva. Asha Seva Kendram, we are supposed to do a lot of seva, right? So we are doing seva. Here he is also saying there is seva going on. This jivaha upasevate. Who's the subject in the sentence? Don't forget the subject. I am upasevate. I am jivaha upasevate. This jiva is doing seva. To what? To all these vishayan. To all the vishayas. The entire universe. He's doing seva, it seems. Hey, I thought all these things are supposed to be meant for me. They are doing seva for me. No, no, no. They are not doing seva for me. You are doing seva for them. Ah, upasevate. Beautiful. And the clock ticks and then life happens. Tuck, 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 life happens. Who who decides this body and all that? That we've already talked about. God has decided, Bhagavan has decided. No, it all happens karma. Yatha karma, yatha shrutam. In Kathoparishad, we just saw it. See, somehow we are able to, thankfully, we are able to connect, the things we are studying. Suppose some of you wondering, oh, I'm studying Upanishad, I don't have to study Bhagavad Gita. I don't know what kind of ideas we all have. So suppose we decide that. No, you don't have to talk like it's all connected. Krishna is borrowing from Upanishad and talking, and it's all beautiful. And so, yatha karma, yatha shrutam, and vishayan upasevate. The childhood, the birth, everything is all determined by my own karma. And so, either I can be born with a silver spoon, like they say, silver spoon, and means just everything given, or life of abuse and whatnot. Very sad life for a human being. And so it's sad for whom we don't know. The child is not taken care of. Parents are screaming, shouting, beating each other, whatnot. So whatever is required for the jiva is given to the jiva. Okay? So Vishayan Pasevate. So that means what? A. For us, what takeaway is what? Every moment of my life reveals Brahma. I don't need to go look for Brahma somewhere. I don't need to. The fact that I'm living, the fact that this heart is ticking, and we don't know how it happens, when it starts, when it ends, nothing is clear. Doctor tells a lot of things about the body's function, but there are many questions they can't answer. When will the body die? Why does the body die? Why does aging happens? All these things, some partial answers are there. Temporary answers, sometimes useful for diagnosis and all that. But main answers not available. Not available. Like that joke, right? The patient was asking the doctor. I think I told you this. This thing comes to my mind. The patient was asked the doctor, was lying on the bed. So the patient asked the doctor, what happens after death, after we die? What happens after we die means what? So doctor gave a very good answer. He said, we will clean up this room, sanitize the room, and then get the bed ready for the next patient. That's the right answer. This guy he was asking some philosophical question. What happens when we die? Urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha, madhya tishtanti rajasaha. Like that he's expecting. You can't expect those things from the doctor. Okay. And so, um, all right, Vishayan Upasevati. That message is that Brahma is available to be recognized here and now. If I'm missing the main thing, then lifelong I'll be missing. Punarjanma again and again. Yavat pavano nivasati gehe. So constantly I'll be missing. So either I know it or I will constantly be missing it, and therefore what? Felicite mokshamu teliyakunna baddha. These songs are all so amazing. We all used to listen to these songs and knowing nothing about the content, but now they're all helping us. Yeah, classical music. You should all know those who are not listening to classical music. Periodically get used to it. Maybe pick up Dikshita songs. And these days in internet, all meanings are all given for all these songs. Carnatic.com you go, CARNATIC.com. And you will find who composed it, Tyagaraja, Dikshita, Avanasam Sivam, like this, everything, and the meanings and all you see is profound. This our study of Vedanta helps us understand all those songs. That means they were all jnanis. Only they could compose all this. So let's translate the shloka. So Telisite Mokshamo, it's a Telugu one. Those who don't understand that. If I know it, I'm liberated. Teliyakunna bandhamu. If I don't know it, I'm bound. That is what he's saying. Namacharya. All right. Let's translate the shloka. Presiding over the ear, ear. Presiding over the ear, the eye, the sense of touch or the senses of touch, taste and smell. Presiding over the ear, the eye, the senses of touch, taste and smell, and the mind. And the mind. This person, within brackets, Jiva. This person, Jiva, experiences the sense objects.
Guruji, 1 minute.
Hmm.
So here experiences is what word? Vishayan is sense of objects, right? Vishayan.
Upasevate, experiences.
But when you explained, it was different. You said the Jiva is doing seva to the Vishayan, right? To the sense objects. But here in English it is different. The person experiences the sense of, right? There's a difference, no?
Yeah, I was saying it. Doing seva is experiencing only now. Doing seva means what? I'm thinking that all things are helping me. I just purposely said it that way. And but really speaking, nothing has the ability to bind me. And so it is me and my ideas that is governing my life. And so in that process of transaction, which is experience, so upasevate, finally it boils down to its experience.
Yes, so
Okay.
in Hindi, there is paid puja. There's no puja being done. You're eating. That's paid puja, they call it.
That's it. So let me read this again. Presiding over the ear, the eye, the senses of touch, taste, and smell, and the mind. See here, look at the way Swamiji is translating this. I was wondering why it should not be the sense of seeing, sight, and hearing, touch, taste, smell. Why he didn't say it like that? Because literal meaning of Shrotram is ear, Chakshuhu is eyes. But what the eyes see is Rupam. If he had said Rupam, Shabdam, Rupam, Sparsham, Rasanam, then sense of, and sense because they are all objects. But here it is one physical object, eye, Chakshuhu. So he's just literally translating it. All right. Presiding over the ear, the eye, the senses of touch, taste, and smell, comma, and the mind, comma, this person, Jiva, experiences the sense objects. Okay.
This prefix upa has any special meaning?
I have not seen We'll look into it. If you can remind me in satsang. I've not seen it. Upasevate, we can begin to infer. Upasamipe, right? So, the process of experiencing, I think the person goes nearer and nearer these objects. Raga Dvesha bind him. That is one way to interpret. We'll see if I'll look up Shankaracharya and see if they say anything to that. Prefix. Good. That's a way to ask. Okay, next shloka. Utkramantam sthitam vapi
Utkramantam sitam vapi
bhunjanam va gunanvitam
Bhujjanam va gunanvitam
vimudhananupashyanti
Vimhudananupashyanti
pashyanti jnanachakshusah.
Pashyanti jnanachakshushaha.
There is a mistake here. Yeah, that book is correct. So, that book, Swamiji's home study book, there is a mistake. Okay, that's fine. Utkramantam sthitam vapi
Utkramantam stitam vapi
bhunjanam va gunanvitam
Bhunjanam va gunanvitam
vimudhananupashyanti
Vimhudananupashyanti
pashyanti jnanachakshusah.
Pashyanti jnanachakshushaha.
Sha or sa? Chakshusha.
Yeah, it should be shaha. Shashti shah must be. It should not be correct. So Rashabhyam Monaha happens there. So sorry, I'm very sorry about that. Adesha Pratyayo. So Rameshu, Ramesu normally, but Rameshu. That's that modification happens here. That's what that printing mistake noticed here. All right. Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimuda na anupashyan. So this jiva is upasevate, leads a life, interacts with the world. Atma jiva interacts with anatma, vishayan, vishaya is there, constantly going on. And so, the purpose of the shloka for us is what? This all-sustaining Brahma is what makes this body tick. Not only that, I am that all-sustaining Brahma. Huge statement it is. And so, that person, in the process of interacting, doesn't even bother to ask the question, how come this body is ticking like? What makes me tick? Doesn't ask the question that the student in Kena Upanishads asked the question. Kene shitam padati preshitam manaha. Kena prana pratamah praiti yuktaha. Who makes my mind think the way it does? Kena prana. How does this prana work? Is there somebody behind the prana that is making the prana move in this way? Okay. Kene shitam vachamimam vadanti. These words that are coming out, I think I am doing this stuff. But is there something sustaining, something that is responsible for all this? Shrotram chakshuhu kau devo yunakti. Beautiful question. Question itself is beautiful. Kau devo yunakti. Which devaha? Devaha means that effulgent. Deva is Devata also Devaha. But Devaha, one that is self-effulgent is also Deva. And self-existing one. My life depends on something. So when I recognize myself as Mithya, body is Mithya, then I must look for Satyam. Look for Satyam. Long before science looked for Satyam, our Rishi started looking for Satyam. That Satyam that student was asking there. And so here what happens? This Vimuda na anupashyanti. Vimudaha na anupashyanti. Hey, they don't see at all. They don't see this fact. They think life is meant to be enjoyed. Purely enjoyed. We don't say don't enjoy life. We say only enjoyment. Enjoyment cannot be the goal of life. It has to be something else. Something else. Okay? So, Vimudaha na anupashyanti. They don't see at all. They don't see that fact. Mamaivansho jiva loke, they don't see it. Kshetrajnanchapi mam vidhi, they don't see it at all. They're all vimudaha. See, Buddha means you should not say fool at all. We don't need to, this word fool, we don't know what it means really speaking. We use it in different contexts. And so, vimudaha, those who are confused, but they may not know they are confused. They may think they're smart also. So they are also called vimudaha. As far as the Shastram is concerned, they're all vimudaha. And so, na anupashyanti. Pashyanti. However, there are some people, this jnana chakshushaha refers to people who have the eye of knowledge. Literal meaning, that's what it means. And they are people who can discern. They can go that one step, like Nachiketa. They can ask that question, Anyatra dharmat, Anyatra dharmat. Those people are called jnana chakshushaha, which means vivekinaha. And they all know when the light is working, fan is moving, they will ask the question, what makes the fan move? What makes the fan move? It won't move, otherwise it can't move. So the electricity, the invisible electricity, they may not know at all much about electricity, but they know enough to ask the question. What is it that makes these appliances work? And likewise, what is it that makes the body work like this? That question they will ask. And so jnana chakshushaha. How says, how do you know you need electricity to run these appliances? Because every month end a bill comes, And so therefore, oh, I see, I get charged for all this electricity. I told you once, we used to live in a place when we were doing our graduate studies in the US. And that particular place that they were all living in, they were living in what's called married student housing. That's what it's called. So only graduate students who are all married, they are given those quarters. So somebody invited me home, so I went there. And when we all went inside the home together, they also were out and we were all together. We opened the door, the AC was on. The AC in the house was on. So I asked him, why is the AC on? He said, no, we don't pay for electricity. So I was shocked by that. I was so innocent and I was so shocked by that statement. So what if electricity is free? You just leave the AC on like this. Knowing so much about this ecology and greenhouse and ozone and this and that. Leave the AC on. I mean, I was not smart enough to have a dialogue. I was just shocked. That's it. Over. So anyway, this is like that. One can know electricity, can sense that there is electricity even though it's not visible. And so that Atma Anatma Vivekinaha, they are called Chakshushaha here, and Atma Anatma and all, we know what it is. Vivekah kaha. Should go back and recall Tattva-bodha. Vivekah kaha. What is Vivekah? Vivekah kaha.
Atma Anatma difference.
Okay.
between the.
All right. So I'll ask a different question. Atmanatma vivekah kaha. So there we have to go back to
Nitya
Tattva.
anitya vastu.
Correct.
Vetrunat.
Satyam Mithya. Satyam Mithya.
Atma nityam. Atma, what does it say? Write it down somewhere or not? Yeah. Nityam vastu ekam. So we have to periodically remind ourselves. Nityam vastu ekam. Tad anyat sarvam anityam iti atma anatma vastu vivekah. Like that he has talked. So they are the people, those who know that. Or those who are beginning to know that also.
Yeah.
Chakshushaha.
Nitya anitya vastu vivekah. Nitya anitya vastu vivekah. What does viveka kaha, right?
Yeah.
Your question
So,
was viveka kaha.
Vivekah kaha. I don't know exactly what the question there was. So there the answer, he doesn't use the word atma. Nityam vastu ekam. Nityam vastu ekam. Whatever be the word you use, there is only one that is vastu, that is nityam. That is enough. That clue is enough to give us the idea of satyam, right? And then tad anyat sarvam anityam. Tad vyatiriktam anyat. Other than that, everything else is anityam. Like that he has said. Okay, anyway, that is just by the way. And so here he is saying, okay, they see these things. Jnana chakshushaha see this. Vimudaha don't see this at all. And in what ways do they see this? Kramantam, sthitam vapi. Sthitam va means while living. We watch so many people, living beings, non-living, we see. Living. Or utkramantam. What is the meaning of utkramantam? We just saw it some time ago. Okay. So where did we see that?
15.8.
Yeah, in 8 we saw Yachapyutkramati Ishvaraha Kramati. So departs. So while living, that person is able to see, recognize, or while the body is dying away. And we watch people pass away also. We watch animals die. We watch plants die. So Utkramantam. Okay. So Sthitam va, at least living or at least when dying, okay. Bhunjanam ma gunanvitam. Vitam means living, residing. Literal meaning is residing. While Atma is there, while the Jiva is there in the body, okay. Bhunjanam. Bhunjanam. Bhok. See, Bhunj, in our Tamil language, Bhojanam is there. Bhojanam is related. Bhojanam. But experiencing Anubhava, they talk about. This word Bhunjanam is not there. Immediately, I can't think of a Tamil word. But in other languages, it may be there. See, some languages are very, I find, even among Indian languages, they use some words which are highly Vedantic. They have carried that thing. Like Pet Puja, he said. Pet Puja. That is enough for us to look. Bhogam.
Bhogam.
Bhogam. Okay. Bhogam. Bhogam. Bhogam also is good.
Aswadam also. Aswadam.
Aswadam. So all that. Bhunjanam. Bhunjadatu. So experiencing. While experiencing all the things that are to be experienced in this life. Va gunanvitam. Experiencing what? Shrotram, Chakshush, Sparshanam, Rasanam, Kranamevacha, Vidyasa. All those things. Through those sense organs. And so when I experience that person, Jnana Chakshush, what does he say? He says, I am the one that is behind all these experiences. Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi Shariram Rathamevatu Buddhintu Vidhi Sarathi. Vishayansteshu Gocharan Atmendriya Mano Buddhihi Bhoktetyaha Manishina. So that he's able to see that. Okay. Atma has to be there to have all these experiences, but at the same time, Atma is independent of all these experiences. That's what we say when we give all these motivational speeches to youth and all that. Hey, who are you? How do you define yourself? I'm the son of so and so, daughter of so and so. I graduated from this college, that college. I got this degree, that. Hey, you make them discuss through all these things. Then you say, you are not defined by any of what you just said. You can't be defined by any of what you said. You can't be defined by your family pedigree. I'm the son and daughter of so and so, Gandhi family. No, Gandhi family can't define you. Then your accomplishments, they don't define you. They don't define you. It's good that you have accomplished. It's good that you've taken leadership positions, but that doesn't define you. None of the things I told about myself defined me, right? So I'm the one who is aware of all those accomplishments and the observer. Asangaha too. Sangha Shastrena there, he said earlier. Okay. Gunanvitam. So that person, guna here means responding. Responding. Gunanvitam. Because guna is there, sukha dukkha is there. Guna. And they are to be experienced. So I respond to situations endowed with the ability to respond. Endowed, anvitam, endowed by or endowed with the ability to respond. To respond to situations, because every human being has the ability to respond to situations, and in that manner the life is being led, and this person is able to see all that. Jnana chakshusha, by that eye of knowledge they're able to recognize that unseen element, unseen vastu. Okay. That's all about this shloka. Let's translate this. The deluded do not see the one who is departing. The deluded do not see the one who is departing. Departing within brackets from the body, or even remaining. The deluded do not see the one who is departing from the body, or even remaining in this body, comma, experiencing or endowed with gunas. Full stop. Those who have the eye of wisdom see. Those who have the eye of wisdom, comma, see. Okay, let me say that again. The deluded do not see the one who is departing from the body, or even remaining in this body, comma, experiencing or endowed with the gunas. Full stop. Those who have the eye of wisdom see. Next shloka. Yeah.
Jumaji, in this translation, remaining in the body means while being alive.
While alive. While. Yatanto yoginaschainam.
Yatanto yoginashchainam
Ashyantyaatmanyavasthitam
पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितं
yatantoप्यकृतात्मानः
यतन्तोऽप्यकृतान्मानः
नैनं पश्यन्त्यचेतसः
नैनं पश्यन्त्यचेतसः
यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं
यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं
पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितम्
पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितं
यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानः
यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानः
नैनं पश्यन्त्यचेतसः.
नैनं पश्यन्त्यचेतसः.
Yeah. So again, similar idea is mentioned here. Pashyanti. Look at the word pashyanti. That verb is there. Okay? Pashyanti. So yatantaha yoginaha cha enam pashyanti. Pashyanti. They see. They see. They see means who sees? Yoginaha. Yatantaha. Yoginaha. Yoginaha means people who are. So the jnana chakshushaha, they are yogis. They are the yogis who see with the eye of knowledge, who want to see. Therefore, yatanta, simply not possible to see with the eye of knowledge. So yatantaha, yatanam, effort. They make an effort. They make an effort to see. Once you recognize something, then you can't let go. Once you see something that's subtle, that you never heard of, and that's new, and that's very profound, and that's important, then you can't give it up. Therefore, yatantaha, even if it is difficult, even if you have to go somewhere and meet somebody, even if you have to buy some books, even if you have to study, even if you have to make some phone calls, some difficult things you may have to do, all that. Yatantaha. So, yatantaha. So, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Karma Yoga, everything included in that yatanam. Yatantaha refers to the people who make an effort. Okay? They are called yatantaha, who are yogis. And what do they see? They see what? Yenam. Yenam. Yenam pashyanti. Yenam. This. This. So this means what? That urdhva moolam. Tadhama paramam mama. Tadhama. This chapter itself, all those things have come. Right? So he will see all that. Ataf padam tat parimargitavyam. That padam. Yenam padam pashyanti. Like that we should connect. All right. They see. And where do they see it? Do they see it? Did they get some vision, etc.? Some kind of a white light they saw, and then they saw God came in their dream and all that? No, no, no. Atmani avasthitam. Atmani avasthitam. Okay. Atmani means what? Atmani. In this body, in this mind itself, they are able to see it. In Kathoparishad, we saw several times this buddhi guhaya, hridi, in that mind which is there in the cavity of the heart, which is there inside the body. Shastram always talks about the heart as the seat of the buddhi. You can't see, the Atma is there everywhere, but only with the eye. Jnana chakshu. Jnana chakshu is there only in the buddhi. This is a faculty. Buddhi is a faculty. And so, here, Atmani means buddhau. Swamiji says buddhau. I think Shankaracharya also will probably say that. We'll look at it during satsang. All right, buddhau, Atmani. So remember that. This Atma, even though the topic is Atma, you should not relate. Atmani is not referring to in Atma, in Sachidananda Atma, no. In the buddhi. Avasthitam, it's there very much. It is there very much means I recognize the Atma in my buddhi only. So critical it is to understand this. All right. And so then what? Then there are other people. Yatantaha api akritatmanaha na yenam pashyanti achetasaha. I hope you can split it like that. Yatantaha api akritatmanaha na enam pashyanti achetasaha. Okay, that's the way to split. You can put commas there. Like that in the previous shloka also. Yoginaha cha enam pashyanti atmani avasthitam. Well, these are separate words. All right. Then there are other set of people called akritatmanaha. Very interesting. What kind of word is used? Akritatmanaha. So atma, one word is there. That atma refers to the mind. Okay. Krita means Samskrita. Samskrita manaha. A person whose mind is refined, literally refined. Means what? Mind is not gross, They are not going after the person who has control over oneself, one's mind, dama, shama, shami, dami. That kind of a person is a kritatmanaha. Kritatmanaha. And whereas this guy is what? Akritatmana. Akritatmana. One who is not of that nature. One who has become a victim of raga dveshas, who is not there yet, who is still quote unquote running after the Vishayan Upasevate, that person. Yatantaha api, even though that person is making an effort, that person also is not so dumb because he understands there is something like this. They are constantly talking about Atma and Moksha, and it has nothing to do with what I have. It has everything to do with giving up what I have. So any average person also can figure it out. There is these two are opposites, accumulating and getting, and depending on that versus letting go of my ragadveshas. These are opposites. So yatantaha api. So in our Kathopadishan, Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya. So sometimes some people say, no, I can figure it out myself. Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya. Proktanyenaiva Sujnaya Preshta. Ananya Prokte Gatiratra Nasti. So many things we can bring here. So the person yatantaha, because Krishna said that person also makes an effort. Even though the person makes an effort, when the mind is not ready, that is what he's saying here. Mind is not ready means including the people who say I can figure it out myself. I don't need anybody's help to figure out. That won't work in this matter. Because there are too many places where I'll interpret things the way I want to interpret. The idea will not come to me at all. So yatantaha api asamskritatmanaha na yenam pashyanti. They don't see this. This atma is not available for them to see. See means to know. Atma is not available for them to know. And achetasaha. Yeah, same thing. Achetasaha. Asamskritatmanaha. Achetasaha. Chetas is mind. They don't have a mind. They don't have a mind that is required. It is not intellectual accomplishment, not a mind that can solve big equations and all that. No, not that kind of mind. Mind that has vivekam, vairagyam, shamadavadi, shatkasampati. Such a mind is called. Those people are called achetasaha, referring to the people. Okay. All right. So let's translate this now. The yogis who are making effort see this self obtaining in the buddhi. See this self obtaining in the buddhi. Full stop. Those whose minds are not mature, those whose minds are not mature and who do not have viveka, so here Swamiji is translating that akritatmanaha as those who are not mature and achetasaha as those who do not have viveka. All right, those whose minds are not mature and who do not have viveka, comma, do not see this Atman or Atma, do not see this Atma, Atma in brackets, even if they are making effort. So that's why all this prapatti and all very important. Vairagyam and all very important. I can figure it out myself means it won't work out. That's why in our culture, this religious life is very important. He mentions that. Very important. And because our goal is too big, we are looking for something very, very huge here. And so there is a system here in place. And so that religious life makes it easy, makes this journey easy. Non-religious people also have come to Advaita Vedanta and have become religious. I've seen that in my life also. Many people are like that. So, because it makes that person like suddenly when the vision becomes clear, then the surrender just happens. So they become religious. All these things we can see. All right, we'll stop with that.
So the yogis are seekers.
What?
The yogis are, say, translated as seekers.
What did the yogis who are making it? See, we have to translate. See, the question is how we translate. We translate it any way you want. Here, Swamiji did not translate. Okay. So, how do we understand this? How do we understand this? So, the karma yogis, because based on our understanding only, we have to translate. So, yogi, what kind of yogis we have seen? Karma yoga, jnana yoga. Lokesmin dvida nishta. So, the one who is the karma yogi, who has done Savanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, they see it. Just limit it to our own thing. We don't need to imagine too much. That's why I would do it. Anish. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Apadamapahartaram dataram sarvasampadam lokabhiramam shriramam bhuyo bhuyo namamyaham. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevapashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.